Oh man. All right. Hey everybody, how are you? Joe Wentz Project Broadcast. We are live right here on this Friday, November 9th, 2018. We're back again. This is our show number 3, fellas. Show number 3.
Right
Somebody
on.
needs to turn their volume down.
Damn rookies.
Yeah, what the hell, man? And how's everybody doing, man? We got Mr. Bruce, Jason Wade, Jim Guidry, R2R3. This is a terrific panel. Thank you guys for making yourself available to be here again this Friday evening, man. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thanks you for having us again, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, man. This is my pleasure. Let me see.
Good evening and happy Friday.
Who wants to do
Happy
roll
Friday,
call?
yeah.
Who wants to do roll call? Who wants to take it?
I'll take it.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Wade.
Let's see here. We got, scroll back up to the top. We've got Mr. BHB Jr., J.J. Collins, R2R3, Johnny Beane's in the house. We got Stafford Studios, Brian Coate, Guitar Hack, Brian Fingerless Guitar, Scotty G, and scroll a little further down. Man, this chat's burning it up. Guitar Girl's in the house.
Hey.
Girl KB. Bozeek's here.
Hey, Boozy.
Yo, Boozy.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Metal X Music. Michael Smith.
Hey.
Brother Smith.
I think
Come on, man.
that's about it for right now. Thanks, guys, girls, being here.
What's up, everybody?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Wade. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
Scotty G, Stafford Studios. How are y'all doing? Thank y'all for being here. So let's start with Mr. Bruce. Mr. Bruce, how you doing tonight, man? Anything happening this past week? Anything? And did you learn any new songs? Any new licks? Any?
Well, I do need to say this because I feel bad.
Okay.
The past 3 weeks, I've been wanting to put out a video. Me playing my Strat through my new Strat through my new Blues Junior, and I keep telling people that I'm going to do it, and then the week goes by and I don't get it done, and then I say it again. I've done it, so it's like it's been 3 weeks now. So I need to get it. I need to get it down. I need you guys to help me and get on me and be like, "Yo, don't forget that. You got to do that." What ended up happening? Yeah. What ended up happening was I went from I was just gonna play it, just sit down, record it, and play it basically because I'm not fancy with the editing. It's something new to me, right? So, but then I started getting ideas of what I wanted to do, and so there's other things I want to do that take a little bit of editing. It's not super fancy, but it's more than what I normally do. Now. So that's why it's been taking a while because I'm getting all the ideas together before I actually start doing it. So, hopefully I get my butt in gear and get it on the roll because I basically, in my head, I have it together. I'm not saying it's going to be that easy to do it, but in my head, I know how I want it now. So that's the start there. So at least the next step is doing it, right?
Yeah, and the more that you do it, you start getting a routine down when you start doing your videos, and you start, it'll get easier every time. It'll get a little easier,
Right.
And we were talking about earlier. We were talking about editing. If you want to edit videos, if you want to go that far, you can get software and edit on your laptop, or there's certain apps you can do to edit video on your phone. You can do stuff like that too. It's however you want to do it. If you're in a hurry, it's, I've always edited stuff on my phone and just threw it right up on my YouTube channel. If I have time, I'll do it on the laptop because you can do a few more things on the laptop as opposed to smartphone. But, so let's move over to Mr. Jason Wade in Monroe, North Carolina. Hi, Mr. Wade. How you doing, man?
Doing well. Today, I got home this afternoon, and for whatever reason, some of you guys know, hadn't been as involved in the chat on WhatsApp and everything like that with EJ and Scotty, Guitar Girl, and all the rest, Pooh Ninja, and all the rest of the guys that are in there, R2, Bruce. Because I wanted to learn. I just had a itch to learn something today on my guitar. So, and as you guys already know, some of the people out there in YouTube land may know, my tone and my sound and my playing favors Satriani a lot. I'm not in the same world as him as far as a player, but it sounds, you can catch that sound out of it. And
Right.
but I've never learned a Satriani lick other than like 20 years ago, whenever Always You, Always Me came out. You know, nailed it down, the intro to it as far as that goes.
Great tune.
That's awesome,
But
man.
I wanted to learn a Satriani lick, so all night long, while I was watching Johnny Beane, I was basically sort of watching, popping in the chat and playing, so on and so forth. Sorry about that, Johnny, but I was there. You got the view count. But I was learning the intro to Surfing with the Alien and trying to get that down.
Cool.
And because I've loved that song as far as that goes, and it's one of his most famous, recognizable songs. So I've been working on that tonight as far as that goes.
Awesome.
But other than that, it's just, you know, same old, same old. It's the weekend, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome deal, man. Awesome. Yeah, Joe Satriani, a huge influence on me as well. I can still remember when I first heard him on the radio, coming back from an old girlfriend's house. God, years and years ago, right when that album came out, and I heard it was Satch Boogie. I didn't know the first thing I thought when I heard the music, the guitar kick in, I thought it was Van Halen. And I was sitting there, I was like, when's the vocals kick in? Is this something new with Sammy? And it was instrumental. And I thought that was the coolest thing I ever heard in my life. And that just lit a fire. I said, oh my God, who is this guy? You know?
Yeah, I felt the same. I mean, I didn't have a lot of guys had that Eddie Van Halen moment. You know what I'm saying? I heard Eddie Van Halen and it was just like blew my mind. Yeah. That was me, but with Satriani. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, and then like you said with the instrumental stuff, it's like, you know, you kept waiting for the vocals to pop in, and it's like, whoa, man, he is just jamming on some guitar. I mean, the whole song is guitar. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really that, because that hadn't been around since probably surf music in the 60s when they had instrumental guitar music, you know. But you know, when you go see that Experience Hendrix, he should be there. Satriani should be there.
Yeah, he's going to be there. Eric Johnson's going to be there. Johnny Beane and them were talking about it on their show tonight. He's going to be there. Eric Johnson, Dave Mustang's going to be there. Johnny Lang's going to be there.
Right.
The lead singer from King X is going to be there.
Wow.
Doug Pinnick. Yeah, Doug
right.
Pinnick.
He'll be there. And like I showed you the diagram, I got basically second row seats. So I'm looking forward to that.
You're gonna be like a kid in a candy store, boy. I'm telling you now, you're gonna love it. Let's move over to Shreveport, Louisiana. Mr. Jim Guidry, the man with the fiery tip fingers there, who tears it up. Jim, how are you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I appreciate it, but I don't know about all that. But doing well, man.
Come on, man.
How y'all doing
look,
the Riffmeister.
Yeah, that is the man right there. The rhythm machine is Jim Guidry right there. He's solid as the solid can get, man. Y'all check out Jim Guidry on his channel if you haven't already. He's amazing. Him and his son Alex, they do a lot of covers and some originals and all that cool stuff, man. They have a good time. It's really cool. I think the latest video you done was like a Dawkins medley. Is that correct, Jim?
Yeah. You know, some of our favorite Dawkins songs, and might be doing another medley. Maybe it's not going to be Dawkins, but something we're working on. You know.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Can't wait to hear that. When
I know what it's going to be.
Uh-oh.
I ain't going to give it away, though.
Don't spill the beans, man.
Don't spill the beans, man. Yeah.
All right, good, Jim. I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Let's move over to Chicago, the virtuoso from Chicago, Mr. R2R3. That's him in the house. How are you, Mr. R3?
That's right.
How you doing, man?
All right, my friend. Doing good, Joe. Good to be here with everybody here on a Friday night. Loving it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Having a good time.
I'm just having a good time, enjoying Friday, and I'm off for the next 2 weeks off of work. So,
God Almighty, man, don't rub that in. Holy smokes!
Yeah, you have no idea. It feels great.
So any plans? Are you going anywhere for the holidays? You just going to kick back and stay home?
Well, for Thanksgiving, I have some things to do around the house. So the first week, I got to do some things around the house. The wife has some to-do lists. honey-do lists, as they call it.
Yeah.
Honey, do this, honey, do that. And then the second week, try to relax and enjoy. My wife's birthday is on Thanksgiving, so we're going to have a little Thanksgiving birthday celebration here. And see if I can put out some videos, man. I've just been putting some funny ha-ha nonsense videos for the past couple days and weeks, and now it's time to get back into business. Put some real jams out. I got to put the rest of the video out for that EVH chorus pedal out there. I put the clean pedal video out, and I'm going to do some dirty, some distortion stuff.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome stuff, man.
No Strat.
Michael Smith chimes in. He says he's also wearing one of his Joe Wentz Project gear while watching the show. Thank you, Michael Smith. Thanks for supporting the channel by wearing your shirt, man. Thank you very much. Mitch Heyman, it's okay, man. We just got on here. You're not late, man. It's okay.
Hey, Mitch.
We just got on here.
Mitch?
I see where Mitch is looking at a Wolfgang. I seen he had a video.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh,
yeah, he's got the fever.
Oh, Lord. We'll touch on that here in just a second, because I got an announcement to make, I'm sure.
Like this one, Mitch? You like this one, Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Wolfgang. Yeah, that's cool. Where's EJ at? Is he not in here yet? I was going to see how he's liking his Wolfgang special. I enjoyed his video.
He said he's loving it. He really does love it. He's not just saying that, man. You could tell he's feeling it, which is
good.
Yeah,
I know
he got a 3-tone cherry. Yeah, he got this 3-tone cherry burst.
Same one you had.
Yeah,
same one Jim has. Yeah, Mike is himself. How
Joe,
you doing, brother? Yes,
Joe.
sir.
I just got a text message here from EJ. He says I'm in bed naked with my Wolfgang. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't read that out loud. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob, for that update. Hey, Fender Guru, what's going on, man?
Andrew.
Oh, man. Yeah, what's going on?
Andrew.
How are you, sir? Man. Okay, I was wanting to ask. I don't know if anybody's. I'm sure y'all have experienced this, but I was thinking about this earlier. Do y'all remember? I'm sure most of y'all have been in bands, or even maybe some kind of jam scenario or something like that. But if you were in a band, do you remember your first gig? I was thinking about that coming home the other night. I remember mine. It was horrible. It was a bad. It wasn't that great. Whoever wants to go first, it don't matter.
I have to pass on that one because I've never played in a band or a gig or anything like that. I mean, I've basically just been a what'd you call it? Bedroom rocker. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they have multiple names for it, but yeah, basically just a home player. They like to say bedroom player, but I say home player because I'm not locked in. I don't play in the bedroom, most of the time. I'm in the loft or whatever. So home player's good. I haven't been in a band with him, so.
What about you, Mr. Guidry? You remember your first gig?
It's not worth talking about, but yeah, I'm like Bruce and Jason now. I'm kind of a jam room or home player. But yeah, I've been in a band before, but nothing worth talking about, right?
This is going downhill quick.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
How about
R2 bring it back up?
R2,
Back
what
to you,
about
Bob.
your first gig?
Back to you, Bob. Yeah. First off, let me say I'm going to do a shout out for GTV Guitar TV. What's up, brother?
Hey,
Just a
Mark.
shout out for you.
What's going on, man?
Mark, what's going on?
What's happening?
Let's see. First gig, first show. Yes, September of 1992. Who's keeping track? Who's keeping track? No, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, Joe. I have a closet down here in my family room where I keep all my guitars, and I forgot that on the wall, pinned up on my drywall in there, is the flyer to my first show.
Oh.
And I happened to look at the date. It said September 92. So yeah, I do remember that. So it brought back memories. So I still have that flyer that we were handing out to have everybody come to the show. And so what's memorable for me for that show was, obviously it was my first show, but the rest of my bandmates they were in another band that was doing pretty good. So they had gigging experience and experience being on stage live. And I didn't yet. And so they were kind of worried about me being on stage and getting nervous or forgetting my parts and so forth. But you guys remember that video that I'm sure you guys had it on VHS tapes? Dave, what's his name? Marks?
Doug Marks.
Doug Marks.
Yeah, the Metal Method.
Doug Marks. Yeah, Metal Method. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found my cassette the other day.
Yeah, me too, Jim.
Well, something memorable in that video I remember seeing, I'm going to be honest with you, I really didn't learn that much on that video. I tried to pick up the stuff on there, and I didn't dig it. I didn't like it. But the one thing I did get out of that video was something he said. He said, as long as you know your parts, you can't go wrong on stage. If you memorize your parts and you know what you have to do, you're fine. Mm-hmm. And I remember that. And I remember going on stage doing that. And my bass player has I guess his girlfriend took video of that show. And so they have experience playing, and they're standing up there standing still, banging their heads. And I'm the only guy walking back and forth like a nut crazy guy, getting into the groove and to the music and everything. Yeah. And I'm trying to get these guys up, and they're looking at me like, you sure it's your first time playing, man? But I don't know. I don't know what it was, man. I think that's just what happens with me. I just get this like adrenaline, this energy goes on, and I get hyper, and I just lose it, man. I had fun. I had fun. It was a blast.
You were just a natural. It just came right to
man, you. It came out. Yeah. It was so cool. I mean, it was like after the show, my bass player, my drummer, and my rhythm guitar player, I remember they came up to me, and you know that feeling when you hit a home run or a grand slam and everybody's waiting for you at the home plate? Yeah. That's what happened after the show. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, man, you did great. And they picked me up and they gave me a hug, and I'm like, yeah, and they're giving me beers. And I'm like, yeah, taking this. So that's awesome. There's my that's my memorable moment, man.
That's awesome. Awesome, man. That is fantastic. It doesn't matter whether it was a good or bad. I just you always remember first experiences, let's say, on certain things. And I remember mine very well. I can't remember what the band name was. But I remember it was two guys. They lived in Concord, North Carolina. I'm sure Jason knows where that is. And I went to Reliable Music, the store we talked about, Jason, last weekend. And when you walked in there, they had that board on the wall that had all the looking for a guitar player, looking for a drummer, looking for a bass player, looking for a singer, blah blah blah. And I looked, and it said looking for a guitar player, blah blah blah. Two guys wanting to form a band, and I was like, okay. So I tore the little number off, and I called them, talked to them, and I drove, man, from Mom and Dad's house up there. I guess it was about, I don't know, probably 45 minutes or something to get up there. And so it was just the three of us for a long time. But that was my first time being in a band. That was my first time experiencing collaborating with other musicians. I never done that before. It was always just being in my bedroom playing with a tape deck. I didn't even have a tuner then. And I remember the guy said, do you have a tuner? I was like, nah, I don't need no tuner, man. I always tuned by a keyboard. That's what I would do. I'd hit the note, A, E, and I would tune my ear. I was so naive and so young and dumb back then. And he said, man, you need a tuner. Excuse me. And so I won't forget, he had a little chord tuner. He plugged up his guitar. He says, ch-ch-ch. He goes, all right, now you take it. And I thought, this ain't going to work. Again, young and dumb. I did it, and then we were both it was like magic. And he said, see what I tell you? I was like, oh, my God. I went right away and bought a tuner that day, went and bought one. And so we did that for just the three of us for probably about 6 or 8 months. Started working up. The only thing that was a downfall to me was all the songs were original songs. We didn't do any cover songs whatsoever. And I was too young to know any better. And so they finally found a drummer. He was in Rock Hill. And they found this guy, this boy about a little bit younger than us at the time. He was a singer. He's a phenomenal singer. So we started rehearsing at the guy's house in Rock Hill, going over all these original songs. And it comes time for this gig, and the two guys that started the band, they took it upon themselves to book the gig, which I didn't care, And he gave me the message, hey man, we got a gig booked, man. And I was like, oh, we do? He goes, yeah, we got a gig, man. We've been working toward this for a while. I was jacked up, man. I was like, okay, cool. I said, where is it? He goes, downtown Charlotte. I said, downtown Charlotte. He goes, yeah, man. It's at I don't even remember the name of the place. I was like, okay. And I go there, man. I remember it was pouring down rain. We get there at like, I don't know, 8:30 at night. This place, man, was in the hood. I'm telling you, it was in a bad part of town. You walked in there, and it was like 2 people inside the place, and you could see the cinder blocks, where some of it was painted, some of it wasn't, some of it was faded. They had one jukebox in the corner, and I won't forget, man. I remember the one song that played was Tone Loc's Funky Cold Medina. I remember that was playing on the jukebox. and everybody's setting up their equipment and all this, and they had like this homemade PA system and all this stuff. And there was this one guy at the bar, and then the bartender. And we were playing for free. We weren't even getting no money to do this. And I looked at these guys. I said, guys, we shouldn't be here. This is the I'm from Charlotte. Y'all are not. This is the wrong part of town. Oh no, we got it, man. We need the exposure. I said, we don't need exposure this damn bad. I said, we're going to get our ass killed up in here, oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead. And we started playing, we went through a few songs, and the bartender's back there. He's like, yeah, sounds great. And I was like, and there was this guy, it kind of reminded me of that movie Airplane, the guy that had the knife. Remember the guy that was pointing at his back when he was dancing because he had a knife in his back, trying to tell the woman he had a knife in his back? There was a guy at the bar, and he kind of favored that guy. And the PA, the homemade PA, whatever, had a wire shorted out. So we stopped in one of the middle of the song. I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, And there's only 2 people in the place, and he goes, okay, folks, hang on, we got technical difficulties. We got to strip these wires. I need a knife. And that guy, he looked at one of us, our bandmates. He goes, y'all got a knife? That guy that was standing at the bar goes, oh, y'all need a knife? He pulls out this Rambo knife, man. And I was like, holy shit, man. I was like, he goes,
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, crocodile, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a knife.
That's a knife. I'm serious, man. He whipped that knife out, and I said, oh my God. And so I vaguely remember playing the rest of that, and went back home. And the next day I told him, I said, I'm done. I said, I'm done. Y'all find another guitar player. All that time of practicing and all that stuff working up, and they booked a gig in that horrible, horrible part of town.
Joe, is that down on 3rd Street by the bus depot?
Actually, it was actually I think it was 6th Street, so it was a few streets over.
Okay.
But
within walking distance.
Yeah, it was horrible. I saw this comment here. I've been holding it. Metal X Music. He commented. He said, I was in and out of bands for years. My first gig was a battle of the bands. We came in 3rd place. We were an all-original speed metal band in the early 90s. There you go, all original again. And I mean, at the time, it was fun. I mean, I really, I just didn't really know any better. But, man, playing at that sorry place. And we were young, man. We were kids. We were in our early 20s. And it was an experience, man. I can say that, but that was my first gig. That was my first gig. I won't ever forget it. It was just horrible. Oh man.
I remember shows like that. We go to places where, if we played in the local area, we would have all our friends and all their friends, and we would sell tickets to we knew who was coming to our shows, and besides the people that were there already at the show. But we played some areas out in Boo-Foo land, but we had no idea where the hell we were at, man. And the only people that were in the audience were our girlfriends. So you just look up and you see our girlfriends just going,
yeah.
and we're like, yeah, okay, here's our next song. And they've heard these songs over and over again, so they're like, they're just trying to support us, and you guys rock.
Yeah, you gotta give it to them, man. If our ladies always supported us, man. Yeah. But I remember those days, man. Who was it? Was it Fender Guru? He said, what gear did you use at that gig, Joe? What did I use? I had I want to say I had some kind of PV combo amp. I can't remember what it was. Something I don't have anymore. I had that, and I think I had a BC Rich. Yeah, I had a BC Rich, and I just remember that BC Rich being heavy. It was red, and it had a rosewood fretboard, and I remember the headstock. I used to like BC Riches back in the day because that was the cool guitar of the 80s. You saw those a lot on MTV and, CC DeVille, all the. And I remember the headstock was real pointy.
The Warlocks, right.
Yeah, I mean, they had this one wasn't a pointy guitar. It was just a regular style rock guitar, like, had the arm contour here and the belly cut on the back, and I just remember it said BC Rich, because I remember one guitar player that I really liked when I was in high school. I don't know if y'all are familiar with this gentleman, Tony McAlpine. Is anybody familiar with that name?
Yeah.
He was another instrumentalist.
Yes, Tony McAlpine. Edge of Insanity was one of his albums, and
still got the Guitar World with him on the front of it.
yes, Tony McAlpine, just phenomenal player, and he played BC Riches back then. That's what made me want to get a BC Rich, because of Tony McAlpine. And I remember being in high school. There was a guy that was in my art class, and he had that frizzed out kind of hair, permed hair. It was about down to here. He was a drummer. He loved Metallica. And I remember he had the cassette, Tony McAlpine. He goes, "Hey, dude," he goes, "you need to check this guy out." And I was like, "Who is this?" He goes, "Tony McAlpine." I was like, "Okay, thanks, man. I'll bring it back in a couple of days, And I had the little Chevy Cavalier, had a cassette deck on it, and popped it in, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And I sit there and open up you could take the thing, the liner notes out of the cassette, and open it up, and it said, "All guitars, Tony McAlpine, and keyboards and piano, Tony McAlpine." He's like classically trained, and just amazing. I was like, and last I've heard or saw, I believe he's playing in Steve Vai's band, playing guitar and keyboards, I believe.
Wow. Yeah.
And I think he just had a battle with some kind of cancer, I believe, but I think he's doing okay now, I believe.
Who's that, Tony McAlpine?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I met Tony McAlpine at a guitar clinic back in the late 80s. A small music store. Yeah, weird story with that, man. I walked in there by mistake. I just went to the music store just to check out the gear at this music store that we have by our house. And I walk in, I noticed the parking lot was kind of full and packed. I'm like, man, there's a lot of people here today. And I walk in, and there was all these chairs and people sitting down, and I was standing in the back, and I walked up to the owner, and I go, "What's going on here, man?" And he goes, "Oh, we have Tony McAlpine here today, man, at a guitar clinic." And I'm like, "Sweet." And as he's telling me that, Tony McAlpine walks behind me. And he goes, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" And I go, "Oh, my gosh, Tony McAlpine." And everybody was facing the front. So everybody thought that Tony McAlpine was going to come from where they were facing, when he was in the back the whole time. And when he heard me say his name, and where I was talking to the owner, he probably thought I knew the owner. And he came up to me, shook my hand. I'm like, "Oh, wow, cool." And he walked right up to the middle of the aisle and went up and hold on, dude, I got distracted. EJ's guitars. Whoa, bro, what's going on, man?
EJ's, thank you for the super chat, man.
What's up, EJ?
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much, EJ. That's very, very kind of you,
brother.
Sir. Thank you, man.
Way to make an entrance, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, look at that. Talk about Tony McAlpine while making an entry. So Tony McAlpine walks down the aisle, goes up and picks up his guitar, and he starts jamming, man. He starts tearing it up on the fretboard, and he was up there for maybe 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, he just had this look on his face, and you know how that sound when somebody drops a guitar on the ground and it's just, you hear the strings just go ding, 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 and just feedback.
Yeah, I know that.
But he didn't drop it. He just stopped playing. Something. I'm sorry, Jim, man.
That's bad memories for Jim, man. Oh Lord, we'll touch on that in a minute. Oh Lord,
no, like, that's a great, damn you R2.
That's a great segue for that story.
No, but Tony McAlpine didn't drop the guitar. He just something happened, and
Bozik, super chat, Bozik,
super chat, Bozik, yeah,
thank you, man. So I'm sorry, R2. Go ahead.
No, it's all right, man. Good job, Bozik. And he handed the guitar to, I don't know if it was his tech or whatever, and he ran out in the back, and that was it. We were like, what happened? So I guess the owner went back there and said, hey, guys, thanks for coming. That's it. And I'm like, what the heck happened? I guess later on I found out that, I don't know if he had some, not tendonitis, but some issues going on with his joints that I guess his fingers would lock up. And I guess it locked up during the middle of his playing there. And that's when you heard that noise. And I will never forget that look on his face. It was just the weirdest thing. And I'm not talking bad anything about Tony McAlpine. He's a great player. But I don't know, man. That was my moment when I saw him. I went, holy jeez, man, what happened there?
That would be a horrible nightmare if something happened in your hands. That happens to me sometimes when I'm playing. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to get warmed up, and I go to play, and I'm like, I get this little, it's just real, just a couple of seconds. I get this like, get this pain, and then I have to stop and kind of like shake my hand or whatever, and I'm like, man, then it goes away. I was like, maybe that's a little touch of arthritis or something.
Wow,
oh my God.
Stafford Studios, man.
Super chat, man.
Right on, man.
Super chat.
Thank you, Stafford Studio, man. Thank you so much, man.
Carpal
Y'all
tunnel,
are awesome.
Carpal tunnel. Yeah, maybe he had the carpal tunnel syndrome going on.
Maybe it was. Thank you, Stafford. Thank you so much, man. But
now, Joe, have you ever sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Have you ever picked up certain guitarists that made you feel like that? Let's say you pick up your Strat, you're fine. You pick up, let's say, the Wolfgang, you're fine. And let's just say you pick up a certain guitar, and then all of a sudden you start playing, and you start feeling this pain down your wrist, and you kind of go, why is it every time I play this guitar, I get these like electrical jolts?
Sometimes it's not all the time. It's just very far and few between. But I notice that when I play a guitar with a thicker neck.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I don't know if I have to compensate or whatever, or maybe I'm overcompensating. I don't know, and I do it, and I'm like, God almighty, man. But when I play the Wolfgang Special or the Music Mans or whatever, the Strats, the Tellys, I don't get that issue. Man.
Yeah.
Guitar TV, man. Mark, we talked some last night. We were sending WhatsApp messages back and forth, and he's got his Wolfgang Special, but he said he's trying to get it. He might be having some issues with it, and he might be sending it back. I'm not sure. Like I said, Mark, I'm not sure where you got it, but if it's not right, send it back, man. I'm sure whoever you got it from will make it right. And
you got it from Z Sounds.
Okay, yeah, and I'm sure they would accommodate.
Hold on, Mitch Heyman just put his address on there. You can mail it to him. He said.
You can mail it to him.
Just kidding.
7/8, Jay, how are you doing? He says some people have issues with super thin necks. Man, I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I don't.
Yeah. There's certain Ibanez guitars that would do that.
I love Ibanez guitars, man. Those are. I got the Jim, and I love that. How do you like the neck on your Jim Jr., Jason? Is it nice and thin? You like it?
Oh yeah. It's fast playing. It really is.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love that neck.
I'll be honest with you. It's about the same thickness as the Satriani model I've got too. So, I mean, I don't know the specs, but by
the JS100, the JS100. Yeah, I wish I never would have sold that, man. Golly, awesome, man. Let's see here. Man, this chat is moving. Thank y'all so much for being in the chat. Bozique says, I like fatter traditional necks, Fender or Gibson-ish, as much as I love the look and the sound of Ibanez guitars. For example, I can't deal with those wizard necks.
Wow. The wizard necks. Because there's different
Super
types
chat.
of wizard necks. Super chat again!
Guitar Girl, $15. Thank you, Guitar Girl. Oh, my God.
Okay, Jason, you got that little sound machine, man? You should do the little or something, you know?
Some applause. Clapping.
Yeah.
Ringing. What the hell is going on?
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. You are on the top of the game. Thank you, Guitar Girl, for that super chat. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. That's what 708 does, man.
Yeah,
Jason
that's
here.
perfect.
What's going on?
That's perfect, man. That is awesome, man. Is Jim? Jim, you there, partner? He might have stepped out for a minute.
Mm.
I was going to ask him about if he wanted to share his story about when R2 said, you know, what it sounds when the guitar hits and it makes that noise. You know,
Oh, man.
And I felt so bad.
Terrible.
I felt so bad for him. He called me that night.
Me too.
He called me, man, and he was pissed off.
And that's
I didn't know what to
because
think,
of this
man.
thing. Let me see if I can get this strap off the Wolfgang here. So, yeah, isn't this?
It was it was above the strap lock. Is where it broke.
Was it with the here?
It was up in there. Yeah. So even if he said, you know, it didn't matter if he had strap locks or not, it still that strap broke.
This is the nylon one. This is the I feel like the nylon one is going to be a lot sturdier.
It broke.
Yeah. Okay.
It broke right there.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I felt so bad for him, man.
Hold on.
Oh man. Now, is yours nylon, Bruce?
No, mine's leather.
Uh-oh.
That's the one. That's the one he had that broke was the leather one.
But I
It was dry rotted.
But here's the question: is it really leather?
No, I don't think. I think the one he has was not. I think it was called leatherette. I think.
But yeah.
I think. Whenever he comes back on here, I'll ask him.
Here, Fender Guru calls it's a bullshit leather strap.
Hey, look, man. Look, I'll be the first to say.
Well, it's because
I'm going to tell you, I don't care whose name's on it. If I spend money on something and it breaks more than once, over and over, I'm going to be pissed. I don't care. You
can't blame Jimbo for it. And that's what made me buy this strap, Joe. Because when I bought the Wolfgang, I wanted to get the hooks and I wanted to get the clasps and everything.
Right.
But I didn't want it to break from here if it wasn't leather. So I got the nylon one, and the nylon one is it's sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere.
There he is. Jim, we were talking about the straps, man. Can you fill us in on the strap you had that was, you know, malfunction or whatever you want to call it, broke. It was
the hard story.
Yeah, would you share that with us, please?
Oh, wait a minute, Joe. Joe, didn't you sign a waiver saying you wouldn't talk about this story anymore?
I have not signed a waiver. No. Anything goes on here.
Sorry, I had like Johnny takes Howie out. I had to take Lily out. So
that's all right. That's no problem, Jim. Not a problem, man.
Yeah, the leatherette EVH straps. I know a lot of people have had problems with them. You know, where the strap actually connects to the, you know, the button. You know, the whatever you call it. You know, the strap. You know, your strap knob or whatever.
Strap lock.
Yeah, but I had I actually had 3 of them that were all defective. You know, of course I'd ordered that LTD, had special order it. You know, Sweetwater didn't stock it, and got it and had it about 3 days, and I'd put that on. And you know, you figure you take a brand new strap out of the package, right? You shouldn't. If you open a package, right, it should be brand new. I mean, in theory, right? Put it on, and it ripped. I sent you a picture of it.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
But when it hit the floor.
Yeah, your guitar. Jim had a brand new guitar. His guitar was brand new at the time, and he only had it for a day or two, and the strap broke.
3 days,
the guitar fell, and I remember when you called me, because I was coming back from Savannah, and Jim called me. And no, no, dude, no, it's no problem. I just remember Jim was highly upset, and I didn't know. I was like, what's going on, man? What's wrong? What's wrong? He goes, this strap, man. You ain't gonna son of a. I was like, wait, what now? He's like, man, I know you like EVH, man, but this is bullshit. I said, no, look, man, no. I said, look, if you spend your money on something and it breaks, I'd be pissed off too. It don't matter whose name's on it.
Super chat.
I'd be pissed off too. Super chat again.
Super chat.
Scotty G. Thank you, Jason. Scotty G Productions. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much, Scotty G. You're awesome, brother. Thank you, man.
Super chat.
Thank you so much, man. But I'd be upset too, Jimbo. It don't matter what the name is on there. But the place you got it from, which I believe was Sweetwater, they made it right, correct? They finally made it right.
You know, it wasn't Sweetwater's fault. You know, it was,
no. I'm not saying it was.
It was.
But I'm saying I'm saying they made it right, though. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just, I mean, you spend that much of a strap, come on, you know. But
you're right. I've been lucky. I'm like R2. I got the both of mine are the nylon, and I never had a problem with it. I got
the shoulder locks on all my guitars. You know, I use that one strap. Yeah, but you know, you figure, like I say, I didn't have it on the LTD then, but you know, you take something out of the package, you figure if you put it on, it should. You know, I'm not like, you know, we love Dave Byron, but I'm not spinning the guitar around. You know, I'm just.
Oh yeah.
You know, hey Dave, but you know, I'm just playing in the room here. You know, and to have that happen, it's wow.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of,
and then I looked at my other strap. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, speaking of Dave Byron, talking about a phenomenal guitar player and musician.
Oh man!
I mean, when I first started watching him, I saw him do that guitar spin. I said, "Holy shit!" I said, "Oh my god!" He done that, and he said, "Shoo!" And he caught it and went right back to where he was at. And I said, "Good God Almighty!"
It's the crazy people from Chicago, Joe. What's going on?
It's a Chicago thing.
Dave's got it going on now. You know?
Oh, Dave's awesome, man. Yeah. He's phenomenal, man. He's awesome.
Great guy, yeah. Him and Dave both, you know.
He is phenomenal, man. Fender Guru, that bullshit leather one is a waste of money. Yep. I have to agree.
Well, it says pleather. Not pleather, but it says leatherette.
Leatherette, yeah. That's what we said while you were walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably pleather,
Yeah.
Now you have those. What did you wind up getting, Jim? The Levy, right? The Levy leather straps.
My silk sent me a really nice.
That's different, you know. That's some solid. That's some solid material right there.
It still smells like cowhide. You know, I mean, it still smells like leather. You know, yeah.
It's 100%.
It's not leatherette, right?
Yeah.
That's why I say, you know, when you say that's what I use, no, he's not using that. Believe me.
I wouldn't think so either.
Not the leatherette one, maybe the nylon.
No, maybe his is real leather. I don't know.
It could be, yeah.
I'm quite sure.
It's Eddie.
But yeah,
see, I'm used to DiMarzio clip locks, man. All my guitars have DiMarzio clip locks. This is the first time I've ever had a regular strap, so I bought both of them. I actually have both of them, but the other one's still in the package. But the nylon strap to me feels like it's not gonna snap.
Right. Yeah, that's where the weak points is in the, you know, not in the strap itself, but where the, you know, where the hole is for the button, you know, or the knob, you know, the strap.
You had to raise the button, yeah. I know what you mean.
But even if I would have had a strap lock on it, it would have ripped, you know, like the picture I sent Joe, it would have ripped it anyway. I mean,
dude, Bruce, cut your camera off, Bruce.
Why is that?
I have no idea. I missed it. I don't know.
It was off.
I was looking at the chat.
I was just
what was you saying, Jim? The where it broke at? What now?
Yeah, I mean, even if you would have had a strap lock on it, you know.
Yeah, I remember you sending me the picture. And I was like, what? It wouldn't have mattered either way.
It wouldn't have mattered, no.
So. Scotty G's asked, who is it that uses a seatbelt for a guitar strap? That's a good question. I can't remember. I've seen those.
DiMarzio strap locks.
Yeah, that's what DiMarzio's.
DiMarzio strap locks uses old seatbelt. Actual seatbelts, man. That's why they're so comfortable. I'm so used to those. I mean, the Marzo clip locks makes different kinds depending on what you get. I mean, I have a camouflage one that has a different material. I know the Inve malfunctions are a different material, but if you get the colored ones, the black ones, the standard ones, if you feel it, it feels like an old. I don't know. To me, it feels like an old 1978 Chevy seatbelt.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I used to have a 78.
It's really cool. I want to say give a shout out to Guitar Hack, man. I watched your show the other night. I was going down the road. I was able to check it out I listened to most of it. I can only chime in for a second because I was, on the road. But it was a great show, man. Great stream. It was awesome, man. And GTV, thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Thank you so much.
Right on.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Mark. Here we go,
Appreciate
man.
That. Thank you so much, man.
All the inner circle.
He says, "Can I borrow $5?"
That's how much
that
was 2 weeks.
You remember that from what, 99.7? Hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Let me hold $1. John Boy and Billy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford Studios says, "Hey Joe, PRS hooked me up with a nice strap, and it locks because I have been waiting for 14 months for mine to arrive. It's real leather." Oh my goodness.
Poor guy. Yeah, man. He's
man.
Crying. He's waiting for that Paulie Smith to come in the mail.
Oh my goodness gracious, man! I can't stand when you order something and it's
the hardest part. Right?
Yes, thank you, Jimbo. Exactly. That's where I was going. Jim read my mind. And there's nothing more aggravating than when you want to get something, you get on there and you're like, okay, let me order. Available, will be available in 2 weeks or a month or whatever. That's what happened when I went to get my EVH Stripe series when they first came out, and it said be available in 3 months. I said, okay, man, 3 months. I'll go ahead and put it in my shopping cart, whatever, and go ahead and did all my stuff, paid for the first payment or whatever. And so I was waiting. 3 months goes by, go back online, look, still, now they done pushed it further back. It won't be available until around Christmas. And I was like, God almighty, man. So I waited another 3 months, and then it was after Christmas. And I looked again, and it said, it won't be available. I said, man, the heck with this, man. I said, I asked my wife, I said, look, I know I was supposed to get this, but it's still on back order. They don't have it. Can I get something else? she's like, okay, but that's it. And I was like, okay. And so I called them up and I switched it out. I said, cancel that EVH Stripe and give me that Fender 50s road worn telly. I'll take that instead. And they said, okay. So they switched the payments over and I got my telly. And then lo and behold, about a month after I got my brand new Fender telly, the EVH Stripe was available, right? And I was like, oh, man. Oh. And so I waited about 4 or 5 months, and then I was able to get the Stripe, EVH Stripe, and I got that. And the only thing, and it wasn't American Musical Supply's fault. It was just, I guess, the way when it was put together and production or whatever. I got the guitar, and excuse me, and it played. I plugged it up right away, man. Hooked it up to the 5150, man. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, in one little Van Halen world, like when you was a kid and put on a Superman cape and go flying through the yard or whatever, And so playing it, man, I'm like, oh, this is so fucking awesome, man. I can stay in this room all day. About a week of that was great. About the 8th or 9th day, man, I went to plug it up and it was just like, cring, cring. And I was like, what? I was like, is my overdrive on? Made some adjustments. I turned this amp, the lead, the overdrive, whatever, wide open. Still, cring, cring. I said, okay, this ain't good. This guitar only has one pickup, one volume knob, and an input jack. So I'll let y'all guess. What do you think was wrong with it?
I know.
What was it?
Input jack?
What was it, Jimbo?
The pickup.
That's right. The pickup was bad. Can you believe that? In a brand new EVH Stripe series. And
okay. Now, wait a minute. Didn't that happen? Sorry, Joe, but that happened to Andrew, Fender Guru, I think. Is that correct, Andrew? He got a Stripe Series. Now he's in New Zealand. No, wait, it wasn't the Stripe Series. I think it was the 5150, the new kind of Kramer style.
Oh, the 5150 Stripe.
Yeah,
5150 Stripe. Yeah,
I think he had a bad Wolfgang pickup in there.
You know, what happened with me was that was happening, and I was like, well, damn, I don't know. So I took it to a guy that worked on my guitars in the past. He's no longer in business, but he retired. And I took it over there, and later that day, he called me. And he said, hey, Joe. I said, hey, man. He goes, I can tell you what the problem is. Your pickup's bad. I said, the pickup's bad? I said, that's a brand new guitar. He goes, you still got the box? I said, yep, I do. He goes, send it back. He said, I can fix it. He said, but this pickup in here is a special pickup that was, you know, designed for this guitar. He goes, it needs a new pickup. And he said, I'll send it back, man. He said, they should honor your warranty or whatever. So I did. I called them, and they sent me a return, what do you call it? Sticker. Yeah, and I printed it out, and my wife was kind enough to take it to the UPS or whatever, FedEx or whatever, and sent back. And about a week later, I got my other one, and I haven't had a problem since. But that was the only. I was really shocked. Now the PV Wolfgang specials, no issue except for the selector switch like we talked about the other weekend. And it only happens in the all natural. The vintage white, it doesn't. It's fine, but the all natural kind of. Yeah, I remember we talked about that. Yeah, on my all natural, it's kind of shady sometimes, kind of sketchy. But the vintage white, there's no issue at all, which is strange. But no, I got the Stripe series back, and it was great. It's been fine ever since. I think Jason was asking me about that earlier in the week about that guitar. And
yeah, I was going to say,
go ahead, Joe.
Well, the selector switch in my special made in Mexico. I had it about a week or two, and it started acting up. And Sweetwater was going to send me they didn't have another EVH switch, they didn't have one in stock. So, they could send me, a different switch, but unless it's like my sales guy was telling me, a lot of people like to keep on all EVH, but I was like, well, it didn't work before. So,
yeah,
they sent me whatever, right? It's worked ever since. So,
yeah.
But I know a lot of people's had that issue with that selector switch.
Right. Yeah. Good night, EJ. EJ's turning in for the night. Thank you, EJ, for being here. Thank you for the super chat, man.
Take care.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man. Guitar Hack says, doesn't Eddie test all those guitars before they leave the factory? I think, what's it called? What's that called? Quality control. Thank you. I think they were kind of asleep that day, or they just aren't checking the switches. I don't know. But I don't know if that happens to everybody else, but it's kind of ironic that it happened to Jason, Jim, and myself, and we all have the Wolfgang specials.
Yeah, and it happened to a friend of mine. If it was a special, his selector switch went bad.
Yeah.
Kind
of wild, man. Kind of wild. But man, so yeah, it was. Finally got the EVH stripe, and then so now, I've been talking some with Jason knows where I'm going with this. Been talking with Jason the past couple of days about the Yamaha THR 10X. Talked about it on our last show last Friday. I've been watching YouTube reviews all this past week, and I finally came across a couple of those videos, Jason, you was talking about with Cameron. Is it Cameron Cooper, that young fella that he dials in those Van Halen tones? Oh my God. And he dialed in that stuff, and it was incredible. And I was like, that sounds amazing. And I could feel it, man. I was getting that fever. I was like, man, I had it pulled up on my smartphone. I was like, shopping cart, Fender Strat, buttercream color. Those are 2018 models, right, Jason? They are. Okay. And then the Yamaha THR 10X, and I was in my shop. I'm going down the road, I'm looking. I'm like, all I gotta do is hit purchase now, man. Buy now. That's all I gotta do. And I'm like, no, man, don't do it, man. Just forget it. So I X'd off of it. And my wife was gracious, man. I asked her today. I said, is it okay if I order my Christmas present now? Can I go ahead and just get it before it becomes unavailable and it won't be in stock? And she's kind of like, what now? And I was like, well, can I please get this? And she finally said, okay, go ahead. Man, I picked up that phone. I was doing that, man, and went ahead and got the. So I'll have the Yamaha coming, and the Fender Strat. It's supposed to be delivered Tuesday.
Hey!
So I'm looking forward to that.
Congratulations! All right.
All right. Do a little tapping for Joe for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I sent Bruce and Jason and Jim a screenshot, but I didn't say nothing to R2 yet. I wanted to save it for the show because I said I don't want to tell everybody, and everybody already knows. How it is. No. I just wanted to, that way you found out right at the moment,
Yes, sir.
So that was cool.
Well, I got a surprise for you after we go live here. I got a surprise for you, man.
Okay. Fender Guru says, Joe, you won't regret that Wesley Wabbit. You won't regret the Yamaha THR 10X. You won't regret it, you Wesley Wabbit. Yeah, so that's I'm very excited about. I mean, the tones I've heard, even on these reviews on YouTube, are just incredible. And Jason, remember what we talked about? That you said you experimented with something.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing
last
that, please,
week? Sir? Yeah, last week there was some talk about whether or not the THR 10X could be used as a quote-unquote head for a cabinet. And no, there is no direct out one way or the other as far as that goes for it to be used as a physical amp head, like a PV 6505 mini head or a Marshall head or anything of the sort. But with a little bit of experimenting this week, what I did was my setup, which I'm not really going to show you because I had to move my camera and all this other stuff. But anyway, my setup, I have my THR 10X hooked up. The guitar input is going to my Relay G10 receiver, which I use in my guitar. For the sound, I like for it to come out of my monitors down here. And to do that, I've got my interface running through my monitors, and I've also got the headphone out on the THR 10X going into the back of my monitors with RCA cables in a splitter. But it's a 1/4-inch cable, 1/4-inch head going in. So I was just thinking, I was like, okay, logically, what if I took that 1/4-inch headphone jack and took the 1/4-inch 412 that I have, cable from the 412, and just ran them directly into that from the THR 10X straight to the cabinet. It would essentially act as my monitors are acting, just speakers, so I could hear the sound. At least that's what I was thinking. And I was right. So what I did was I messaged Joe because he was really concerned about that particular point. And I've been playing with it for the last couple of days like that. I've got the speaker cable coming out of my cabinet into the THR 10X's headphone out jack. And I can adjust the knobs and the sound and tweak everything on the top of the THR 10X, and the sound comes out of my 412, just as it would my monitors, as far as that goes. Now, you can't. It doesn't get like super loud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like the PV 6505. It's not true 20 watts, but it's loud enough for my apartment and loud enough to where in your small space there, your little, man cave, you'd be able to run it through yours. So we did find that out. It does.
That's awesome.
It does work that way, in that sense.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Guitar Hack says he's going to call it a night. Thank you, Guitar Hack, for being here. Thank you, man.
Night, Guitar Hack.
Much.
Take care, Guitar Hack.
Awesome,
bro.
That is very awesome. Yeah, Jason contacted me earlier and told me, he says, "Hey, man, this does work. Check it out." And he put his phone down and recorded it and sent it to me through WhatsApp. I was like, wow. I was like, that's awesome, man. It doesn't have to be, you know, I mean, I've seen other people do that too, because I was watching some of these YouTube reviews and I was like, I know good and well they're not just, I mean, I know it has its own little speakers, but the way the sound was, I said, they're not going direct. They're using a microphone from a cabinet or something. I said, you could tell. I said, man, man. So it was that was good to know.
I'll tell you what, if you get with Scotty G, because I got with him afterwards, and he was actually a little surprised that it did work because I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was saying basically in a lot of these headphone outs, there's a little makeshift amplifier or something or another, one way or the other, but it's really, really low wattage. It's built for small speakers, and usually when you do that, it won't push the sound through.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
He's saying right here in the chat, I had to do something with the impedance of the headphones and the speakers. Yeah.
But he knows a lot about that because he deals with that on a regular basis as far as that goes. But for the time being, I mean, last couple of days, I've been able to do it.
Cool, man.
Oh, I see what Scotty's saying. Yeah, it's not something that I would do all the time. It's just something that I was just wondering if it would work. But yeah, I'll let Scotty G hit me up with that information later.
We got a GTV taking off also. Have a good night, G.
All right, G.
Good night, G.
Thanks, G, man. Take care.
Take care.
Take care. Mark O's Images. He says, of all the small amps I bought and sold, I'm sorry I never bought the Yamaha. Wow. Man.
Jay's got the THR 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember you saying that. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are the differences? I remember you were talking about it last week, Jason. Can you run through that again? The differences between
the THR original series is the cream one, and it's more of classic rock tones, so on and so forth, that type stuff. The middle one, which is the one Dave Byron has, is a black, bluish color, and it's the THR 10C. And it's more for like bluesy tones and, even more classic rock tones as far as that goes. The THR 10X is strictly high gain. But I did dial in on my own you can get a subtle bluesy tone out of this high gain amp. I was messing around with it earlier in the week, and I sent Joe a couple of sound samples of it as far as that goes, and it sounded pretty good. But it's meant basically for strictly a high gain, metal type sound as far as that goes, and it's more metal than it is classic rock. I'll definitely give it that as far as that goes. The other two models would probably handle classic rock way better.
Yeah, I love the way the tones are on it. I was like, man, that's right up my alley. Right up my alley. 'Cause I like high gain too. That's just what I like.
Yeah, and like Fender Guru just pointed out, the tone editor, the THR10.
Yes.
It's got software. The editor, THR editor. You can tweak all kinds of stuff with it as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? It's not as advanced as the katanas of the studio, Boss Studio.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, I'll give it to them. They've done a good job on that, and you can really tweak the stuff on that one to dial in your tones as far as that goes. But you can get some really good stuff out of this Yamaha series stuff. And again, like I had mentioned last week, not to reiterate, with Jim, it comes with its own DAW software, Cubase 9.5, I believe, for free. So it acts as an interface as well.
And you're getting the X, Joe, right?
Yes, sir. I'm getting the same thing Jason has. Yeah. Yes.
Is that the same one you were going to get, R2, when you went there with the Spider family flipping you off in there and all that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the same one. Yeah, because that was the one that I saw Cameron Cooper.
Okay. Yeah.
Playing this video, so I'm like, you know what? I know a lot of it has to do too with the fingers. His playing is phenomenal, but I mean, he's getting those tones. It sounds real close, man. It sounds good.
Yeah, sounds really
but
good.
Johnny
I
Bean's
can't.
got a question, Joe, for you.
Oh God, what is the difference between a guitar you plug in and the one you don't plug in? Oh God Almighty. Well, so next will be Bruce. What do you think, man? You think that is still maybe on your wish list? This Yamaha THR?
It's definitely on my wish list. I just I have to decide priorities here.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah,
I might get another
understand
guitar.
that.
No, I'm just kidding. I can't.
Yeah. Holy moly!
No,
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not rushing into anything, but I do really like it. You know. So
yes, that's right. That's right. So if everybody wants Jim Guidry to get a Yamaha, hit that thumbs up button. So Tim, go ahead and get that.
Scotty,
Yamaha next.
Scotty G answered the question. He says, so most headphones are 16 ohms. Your speakers are probably 4 or 8 ohms, which they are. They are, as far as that goes.
Oh, okay.
So you can burn out your headphone if you run it that way a lot.
Headphone out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Wow. Man. Thank you, Michael Smith. Thank you. Yeah, learn something new all the time, man. That's what I love about doing these things, man, because it's you always learn something. So we're going to get ready to wrap up here. We've been on here for about an hour. We're going to get ready to wrap up because I can't be on here long tonight like last time. But is there anything anybody else would like to add? Anything you'd like to promote? Anything on your channel? Please feel free to do so. We'll start with Mr. Bruce.
No, but I do want to say thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming and checking us out and enjoying the show. Have a good night and weekend.
Absolutely. Mr. Jason Wade, how about you, sir? Anything that you got coming up on your channel or anything that we need to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, I got a video that I'm working on. I'm hoping to get it done this week. Basically, what I was speaking of earlier, where I was learning that particular lick, I've filmed myself learning it so I could sort of put the video out there and we all learn it together type thing as far as that goes. So we'll see how that turns out, see how the editing goes as far as that goes. And if so, then I'll put it out there. But other than that, I'll turn it over to R2 as long as he promotes what I think he needs to promote.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. R2. Take it away.
Take it away, Johnny. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all my brothers in here in the panel, to all my brothers and sisters in the chat. Thank you for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys are awesome. Thank you. We are all the inner circle here. And that's what I want to spread. The love and joy with the inner circle is all of us. All of us. Not everybody's left out. Everybody's in it. And everybody watch everybody's shows or in channels. Subscribe to everybody. Everybody in the panel here. Everybody in the chat. Click on their icon. Go to their channel. Subscribe to them. Watch their content. And go to my channel too. That's important. You see some funny, good stuff in there. But I have a contest going on. I said it last time. I'll say it again. I'm giving away a MXR dime distortion pedal. If you go to the video, there's links in the description to tell you what you need to do. Contest ends around, I want to say like around Thanksgiving, a little bit.
November the 23rd.
23rd.
Oh, okay.
So we have some good entries there, and even if you don't win, we're gonna highlight your video and your playing and showcase. This is what it's all about. Just showing the love, spreading the love, and showing everybody what you got. So you could win, but if you don't win, you still win because you're spreading the love of music and guitar playing to everyone. That's cool.
23rd happens to be a Friday.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
That's right.
Awesome. We're going to round it all. We're going to round it off with the best in the house, and that's Jim Guidry. Jim Guidry, is there anything you got going on, man, that you like to promote on your channel, or anything coming up we need to be on the lookout for?
Well, we're working on, a couple of originals and maybe another medley or something. I don't know, but working on some stuff. So, and I do want to appreciate, or thank everybody for watching, and we appreciate it very much. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you,
everybody. On the panel. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody here, man. This Mr. Bruce, Jason Wade, Jim Guidry, R2R3, this Virtuoso from Chicago. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you in the chat. Thank you so much, man. It's been an honor to see all y'all in here. And thank you so much for the super chats. That is so kind of you. I really, really appreciate it. And as far as me, man, my name's Joe. You're watching the Joe Wentz Project TV here. Be on the lookout for new videos, stuff like that. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. Subscribe to these gentlemen here. You will see the links below in the description to their channels as well. Click on there, subscribe, spread the love, show the love, all that good stuff. Until next time, this is Joe for the Joe Wentz Project TV. We will see you in the next video. Until then, take care, everybody. Be safe. Be kind to each other. See ya. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Poon.